have this video clip of Mia, right? Notice how the walls are all kind of greenish blue. Mia's face doesn't really, like, she looks kind of greenish blue, right? We don't want greenish blue people videos. We're going to go over to the workspace then for color. So we go up to Window, Workspace, Color. That brings up new settings, right? This is the same kind of waveform that you get when you're looking at Lightroom, but this is a video signal. So it's similar but different, right? And it's not cleaned up, it's an analog video signal, right? What I need to do then, if I select this clip of Mia, and I want to color correct this, you'll see I have these color settings over here. The first thing I'm going to do is work through my basic correction, right? I'm going to select something that in the room is white or gray, like maybe this poster behind her. And notice this poster is pretty much a white piece of paper, right? By using my eyedropper and putting it over the poster, now this image seems correct, right? So I've color corrected the white balance. I could also decide that maybe instead, because there's so much of it, I actually want this white wall. This will be the white I go off of. Either way, you have to pick which white in the room is going to be the white in your image, right? I'm going to say it's the wall for now. I actually think it looks better if I go into this shadow area here, right? Just like on Lightroom, you can play around with these different sliders to give your image a more stylized look. But notice your waveform's no longer that like clean digital waveform, it's an analog waveform. The same technique applies, but in video, it's turned on its head, right? So instead of where the black values are on the left side of the histogram, they're now at the bottom of the waveform monitor, right? So the black values, we want to get down near 0, but we don't want to go over it, because we start losing color information if we go to 100%. On either side of this, same thing. If I adjust my white values, you can see that there's some white values already kind of peaking at the top. I don't want to go too far, because otherwise these white lights hitting the screen are going to start losing all their detail. But I can bring this up quite a bit, because most of that's not that important in our image, right? And that sort of brightens the entire thing. Now at this point, we got to just use our artistic lens to decide how much shadow we want to bring in, how much highlight we want to bring back, whether we want to increase the contrast or reduce the contrast. Again, these start to become stylistic decisions at a certain point. And then if you needed to, we could go back to the way this was when I first got it. You could also just choose to start by raising the exposure some, because this is a little underexposed, right? And then, you know, starting the same changes, working up from the bottom and going into the shadows, deciding what is an appropriate amount of shadow. Again, this is all creative on a certain level, right? We're going for naturalism, especially on this first correction, but you'll see that the thing that is a little bit different than when we use Lightroom, below your basic correction, you have your creative color correction. There's quite a wide array of looks that you can drop onto your video. Now, for a presentation video, we probably don't want to go crazy, but you can play around and see, right? Maybe we want to make it look like this is an old video. So we'll play around by using Kodak Fujifilm, and that gives it sort of a yellowed film look. That's kind of subtle. Let's see if there's an intense one. Here's one called Gold Western. Right now, Mia's in the Old West, right? I don't know. Or let's see if we can find one even more intense. They also have some that are called like noir. That's going to be a black and white look, right? There's all kinds of creative color looks you can add to video, hiding there right underneath the creative tab. Now the thing that's worth noting, it only is going to apply that look to one of your clips. So notice I color corrected this one clip, and I like the way this looks. I go to my other clip of Mia, no color correction. Right, so what you might do, you can right click on this clip of Mia, and we can click copy. We're just gonna copy the clip, but instead of pasting, I'm gonna right click and go paste attributes. Right, and if I paste attributes, I can choose to put the same color effect on this other clip. I say okay, now both of my clips of Mia have the same color look on them. So that's the basics of doing video color correction. There's more advanced stuff you can do, but that should get everybody started here on our first editing video.